I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive.
Hey, what's going on, guys? JJ Wilson is here. Welcome to another JJ Starwind's Corner episode, episode 54. Now, I'm going to briefly touch on two topics. The main one is going to be about the game Ghost of Tsushima. I saw an interesting article earlier this morning about the potential sequel and whether or not the main character will be a part of it. So let's check out the article. I may not read every little thing on here, but I'm just going to touch on some points that have piqued my interest here. Let's see. So Ghost of Tsushima has turned out to be a major hit for PlayStation. Leading up to the game's release date, there were concerns that his homage to samurai cinema would be too niche or that it would ache into other open world games too closely. Spurred on by the lockdown-induced gaming fever many of us fell victim to, Ghost of Tsushima would crush expectations to become the PS4's must-have exclusives. Having since launched on the PS5 alongside the Iki Island DLC, and after debuting a superb multiplayer expansion, it's become an all-time great and a perfect title to help headline Sony's revamped PlayStation Plus service. Yep, that is in fact. We won't delve into spoiler territory. What we will say is that, like most open-world games, Ghost of Tsushima leaves the door open for players to continue exploring and complete side content even after those final credits have rolled. So by the end of the game, Jin has become a one-man war machine, having successfully pushed back the invading Mongol hordes. Unless you've been digging into a real-world history that inspired Ghost of Tsushima, you may not know that the Mongols actually won, carving a path towards the Japanese mainland after ravaging Tsushima and Iki Islands. They would have advanced to the northwest Hakata Bay, but would go no further, prepared to wheel out the same monstrous tactics. The Mongols simply vanished overnight. Their warships believed to have been scattered by a great storm. Or at least that's the legend anyway. Something else you may not know is that there was a second Mongol invasion just years after. So the game takes place in 1274. So this guy's talking about, the person that made this article, he's talking about the second one, which was like around 1281, the year. Sorry, it's about to rain out here. So he's saying this would prove just as devastating for the residents of Tsushima as with their home was once again used as a stepping block as the invaders lunged for Japan. However, once again the Mongols would be scattered, this time by a legendary kamikaze or divine wind. This kamikaze could be a metaphor for Jin Sakai's efforts to thwart the Mongols again in Ghost of Tsushima 2. If Sucker Punch decides to stick with this setting and time period, we could see an opening where Jin's homeland is annihilated by the invaders, forcing him to refuge, where he rebuilds his ragtag resistance. So he's talking about if Tsushima were to get attacked so badly to the point where there's nothing left, everything he knows is gone, including the one thief that helped him out, Yuna. If she were to die, like that's like the only other person he would care about. Like, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy. It would bring out something out of Jin that, unlike anything we've ever seen before in a protagonist, I think. Like, he would be playing between being like an actual human and a monster if he's not something close to that already with his monk here being the ghost. Right? So let's see. Still, there's a good argument for Sucker Punch drawing a line under Jin's journey. Not only would the developers have to make one of the original game's endings canon, its players have already scoured the island of Tsushima from its highest peak to its lowest valley. If a sequel were to follow, the second Mongol invasion, that inherent sense of deja vu would make a sequel less impactful. Let's see. Now he's arguing it's easy to forget the Mongol invasion took place hundreds of years before the Warring States, where many great samurai are set amidst the bloody chaos of warlords. Focusing on the conflict within this era presents numerous narrative and gameplay opportunities with more advanced weapons and a wealth of historical persona. Then again, That's what made Ghost of Tsushima such a brilliant game. Instead of sweeping battles, it favored tactical skirmishes that players gave a choice between stealth, skill, swordsmanship, or all-out carnage. Wherever Ghost of Tsushima 2 takes us, and whoever releases this likely sequel remains to be seen, what's most important, however, is now Sucker Punch evolves each pillar in its Samurai Simulator formula. Having set the bar for other open-world action games, we're curious to see how the sequel will top the studio's previous efforts. So, okay, here's the author, Jim Hargreaves. So shout out to that guy for this article. So, man, it kind of makes me wonder, like, where are they going to take this story, Sucker Punch, huh? If they bring Jin Sakai back, bro, it's going to be problems. But if they don't bring him back, I kind of said this in the podcast a while back, the Eternal Adventures podcast, like, they could focus back to the Mongol Empire and set in a different country if they please. Now, if they do go back to Japan, they could start with the second Mongol invasion so they can make the second invasion much more bigger with them moving into the mainland part of Japan, like they said, Hakata Bay, which is, I think, Kyushu Island, which is a bigger island. So you could have multiple cities, multiple areas to explore if you're still Jin Sakai or somebody else within Japan that's trying to fight out the Mongols. So I'm real curious to see where Sucker Punch goes with this. I think it'd be kind of messed up if they didn't bring back Jin, but I'm not going crazy over it. Now if they bring back somebody brand new, obviously, the character has to be pretty complex as well as relatable. Like, you understand his suffering or his reasoning or rationale for doing the things that he's doing in order to protect those that he cares about, or he or she cares about. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to see out of Sucker Punch if they decide to go either the Ghost of Tsushima route still, or they kind of focus more on the Mongols some more, but they kind of maybe take it to a different country. Who knows? But that's going to take a lot more work and a lot more effort to make that story just as good as the Jin Sakai story. So I'd like to hear your opinions about that for those that are listening. Now, real quick, before I end this off, I wanted to touch on the trailer that I saw. Shout out to Gaming Geek. I saw the Wakanda Forever trailer. Alright, so basically, like 95% of the trailer it seemed like it was just all women. It was nothing but women. I didn't see too many male faces in there except for the guy, the king that was a part of Wakanda. And he ruled that barbaric part of Wakanda that was like buried in snow, and there was one of these cave clothes. I just remember the actor. His name is Winston Duke. I forget the character's name. Sorry. Okay. And it looked like Atlantis is going to play a role in this film. Like the Aquaman universe, from what I saw too, because you saw all these mermaid type people and people in these weird outfits coming out of the ocean and stuff. And yeah, I haven't seen the Aquaman films, so I'm kind of curious to see where they take that. But it looks like they're going to play a role as well. And from the last part of the scene, and yeah, they did have a scene where they honored Chadwick Boseman, because it does look like they pretty much killed him off. So I guess T'Challa is not in the film actually. But I'm wondering, like, who actually replaced Chadwick Boseman, because now it seems like the new Black Panther is actually a woman. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but you guys tell me in the comments what's going on with that trailer. Like, what exactly is going on for the Black Panther fanatics out there? You tell me what's going on in the trailer in Wakanda Forever. That's pretty much what I'm curious about. Is Black Panther actually a chick now? Okay. Since the Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us. Alright, so that's kind of what I want to know there. But anyway, this is JJ Wilson here. We'll come back with another Starwind Corner episode soon. Alright, I'm out.